This week, the Carolina Panthers take on the Minnesota Vikings, a team that we've got a couple of players from in the offseason, and today we got access to the locker room, so I decided to speak with Captain Muddlin.
He's playing lights out. He's taking care of the football. Their receivers getting open. Adam Thielen having a great year. It's a guy that, when I was there, he was a special teams guy, and he got better and better as the year. I was like, man, who is this guy? When I first got there, I knew he was going to be a player. He's very special. He runs great routes. He got great hands, and you add Stephon Diggs in that mix, man. He's special also. So they got a great group of guys on offense. We know we got our hands full, but at the same time, I know what this defense is capable of doing. So we got to go out there. We got to compete, and we got to try to contain those guys and try to make plays on the football.
So in addition to being in the locker room on what's today? Wednesday. It's been a long week, but in addition to going into the locker room on Wednesdays, get a chance to speak with Cam Newton as well as Ron Rivera. And today, Cam spoke about Greg Olsen coming back. He said he has his fingers crossed, hoping that he's strong enough to get back. All signs indicate that Greg will be back this Sunday. And the good thing about that is that last week you had Devin Funchess struggling with consistency of catching the ball. And if you have a guy like Greg Olsen back, then you're able to have those guys, someone that's reliable to catch that ball down the seam and bring that consistency to the team. So having Greg back could be a big deal for the team. Hopefully we'll get him back because Minnesota's a very tough opponent. And next up in the press room was Coach Ron Rivera. Now, I spoke with Demir Bird, asking him about having the long distance balls to catch, and he said that he's excited, he's wanting to do that, and asking Ron Rivera about stretching the field. He said that is absolutely something that they need to do this week and something that he spoke to the coaches about. And if they're able to bring that dynamic into the game this week, that would be a big plus that I hopefully hope that we'll have as part of the game as well. And I also asked him about the biggest thing that he wants to see this week, because in New Orleans, we didn't do so well, and he actually went and recited most of what we saw go wrong last week with the mistakes of the penalties, the special teams mistakes, and said that he really just needs to see those things get corrected. So hopefully all the planets will align. We'll have Greg Olsen back. We'll be stretching the field with some deep passes, and we won't make the mistakes that we made last week. And that's really what we need to do to have a chance against this 10-2 Minnesota Vikings team. It's going to be cold this weekend. I just noticed this in the background. You have the heated seats that I don't know if they just happen to leave out, but it's going to be cold this Sunday. So if you're coming to the game, be sure to bundle up. And as always, I like to let you guys know I work for you. So if there's anything that I didn't talk about today that you would like to know, just hit me up, leave me comments below, or everything is at Charlotte Vibe for all social media. Would love to hear from you guys. It's Chris Jenkins from Bank of America Stadium. All right, so one thing that I had to come back and add on to this recap is that of the injuries, and there's a long list, be sure to check out on Twitter. I put the full list out there. Shaq Thompson is the only one that Coach Rivera is concerned about and believes that as a result of Shaq's inability to play a lot of snaps this weekend, that we will get to see a lot of action from Captain Muddlin. So, you know, Captain hasn't been too happy with the number of snaps, but knowing that he just must take advantage when he is out there, certainly will have the opportunity this weekend to see